What's going on, everybody? My name's Tenebris and welcome to a list of all of the craftable schematics for every single type of bullet here in Generation Zero. With the November update, we saw the addition of new consumable craftable schematics in the form of bullets and medkits. I've already put out a video on medkits, which will be linked in the comments down below, and for now, we're gonna get into all of the different bullets. There are a lot of bullets and a lot of schematics, so I'm going to have all of the times for each of the different types of bullets listed in the description down below. And I gotta say, I couldn't have put this list together if it hadn't have been for the massive effort of the community as a whole for finding these locations. So shoutouts to the entire Generation Zero community for banding together and finding all of these schematics as quickly as we have. Now let's not waste any time at all and let's start getting into this list of locations. So first things first, you're going to want to come on over to Anal Ferala and kind of come just like halfway up the road here. And when you get halfway through this road, there is a down truck, and inside of this down truck, you can find yourself the schematic for the 50 BMG Full Metal Jacket round. Now next up, for the 50 BMG armor piercing round, it's a little bit trickier to get this one. You're going to want to come into Hermelinen, the bunker up in the North Coast region, and just come on down here and follow the kind of stairway down your immediate right, and then take another immediate right past the little gas room. And when you come out here, you're going to want to, again, make sure that you're getting past this gas room here and just kind of take your first immediate right. And this is going to lead you on over to the kind of civvy area of this bunker. So you're going to want to take a right into the civvy area and then take a left going down the stairs. And then once you're down the stairs, you're going to want to take another immediate right. And then it's just in the room to your left here, sitting on the table. Now, luckily, that was the only tricky one that we had to go through here in the list. Every single other crafting schematic is in a very open, obvious spot. So we're going to be coming on over to Algness next for the 762 ammo. And you can find this sitting just inside the house on the kitchen counter. Now next up for the 762 armor piercing, and as we go through this list, I'm going to do the FMJ first, or whatever is the equivalent variant, and then I'm going to do the armor piercing next. So for the next location we're coming to for the 762 AP rounds is out here in Alvaret Plains. There is this kind of small setup of crash cars, and you just want to come on over here and pick up the schematic sitting in the crash car. Alright, so with one of the battle rifle types of ammunition out of the way, let's get on with the next type of battle rifle ammunition. So we're going to be coming on down to the Tokarad Data Center right near Tokarad Farm for the 556 FMJ rounds. And for the 556 AP rounds, we're coming on over to the Commandant Villa over at the military compound just in the mountains region here. You can find this schematic sitting on the house on the right, just inside its living room here. The military compound itself is pretty easy to find. It's just right smack dab in the middle of the mountains region here. Now with our battle rifle ammunition out of the way, we're going to start looking at sidearms, and we're going to be coming on over to good old Stenhaga Farm. Way back, my dudes, back in the archipelago. So back at Stenhaga, you can find the 32 ACP hollow point rounds just by the crafting table here. And for the FMJ rounds for the 32 ACP, you want to come on over to Stralsund, right by this downed tank here that's just kind of lying down face first in this house. One of the closest safe houses to Stralsund is over at Ostervik's Industrium Rad. It's just a quick little jaunt away from there. Now for 9mm ammunition, first things first, we're going to be coming on over right beside Brevkin's camping here in order to pick up the 9mm Full Metal Jacket crafting schematic. You can find the schematic up at the top of the hill just by this kind of little barricade around one of these power poles right beside this guy that happens to have a shotgun. I don't know what he was planning on doing with the 9mm crafting schematic and the shotgun, but it's probably why he died. Now next up, we're coming on over to Bjorkvillen in order to pick up the armor-piercing rounds for the 9mm handgun. And you can find this just inside of the little shed sitting inside the car in this shed. I feel like Bjorkvillen's closest safe house is Anger's Church, but you could also take the safe house just up north into the mountains region a little bit there. Getting here can be a little bit difficult because you have to go through the Valley of Hell, but once you get here, it's a pretty tame area with minimal machine spawns. Next up, to kind of round off our sidearms, we're going to be picking up the 44 hollow points just over here near Baldur's Val, right beside Ostervik. And then to round off our sidearms, we're going to be picking up the 44 Full Metal Jacket down here at Ruskelle Farm in the house on the left. You can find it just upstairs, sitting on the kind of table up here. Right, so now from handguns to shotguns, we're going to be picking up our birdshot first down here in the Archipelago region. We're just going to be coming on down to this kind of spooky cult spot that showed up a couple months back in one of the Archipelago facelifts. Now down to the creepy outhouse, and just gonna squeeze past this dead guy here in order to pick up the birdshot crafting schematic for the shotgun. And for the buck, we're coming out to this little military campground here that is right near Stenungsnes and this ferry pier here. I probably butchered that. But you're going to find it just inside the military truck at this little campground here. And then lastly, for the slug, we're going to be coming on out to a kind of obscure location called Farholt. You can get here either from the Hiker's Barrack or over at Love's Nest. And what you want to look for is this little storage container, this kind of abandoned storage container, and inside of this storage container you will find yourself the schematic for the slug rounds. Now, from shotguns to hunting rifles, we're going to be picking up the 243 schematic next, and the 243 is for the Mauser hunting rifle. You can find this schematic just close to Naparana Farm and just a little bit past Asso. And for the full metal variant, you're just going to want to come on down to Lear Burgett, come just a little bit past the gas station into this kind of faded blue house, and you can find the schematic for the full metal jacket rounds just up at the foot of the bed here. Next up for the 270, which is for the Algstadsare hunting rifle, you can find this just a little bit past Boo, coming on up here. And you can find this guy sitting just inside the windshield wiper of this car here. Now for the 270 Full Metal Jacket, you're going to want to come off to Barrett Skapsfarad 109, which is just a little bit north of Sandbow, up this kind of dead-end road here. It's just inside the facility on the right-hand side in the toilet. Not sure if a dev really doesn't like 270 ammo, but hey, we'll just move on. Now, for the last of the ammunition schematics we're going to be getting today, we're going to be coming off to the IGA facility in order to pick up the HEDP rockets crafting schematic. And you can find this just inside this little warehouse building sitting in the far back of the room. Look for the big red IGA letters, you totally can't miss it. And now for the smoke rounds for the rocket launcher, we're going to be coming on over back to Alvaret Plains. And here in Alvaret Plains, there is a little kind of storage building here. And inside of the storage building on the left-hand side, there is a downed soldier that happens to have the smoke grenade blueprint. And for the last schematic of the day, we are picking up the EMP rockets just outside of Borgakulen. I gotta say, the primed and ready animation for the experimental sledgehammer is so sick. But either way, you can find this schematic just sitting up at the kind of end of the boat here, just on the shore. Alright, so there you go, my dudes. There is the crafting schematic locations for every single blueprint of craftable ammo types here in Generation Zero. Hopefully this video has been super helpful for you dudes, and if there were any specific types of ammunition you were specifically looking for, hopefully this list has now helped you find that. But for now, I've been Tenebris, you've been awesome, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you dudes in the next one. Until then, peace.